Hello everyone. We're going to be talking today about Cyber Kids Robotics and a brand new initiative that we're bringing to the school system this year for our elementary, middle, and high school students. Our guest today is Bill Kent with Cyber Kids Robotics. So Bill, thanks for coming by today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Tell us a little bit about Cyber Kids Robotics.
Okay, well, Cyber Kids Robotics has been in business for 12 years. We're a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to expand and improve STEM education across North Carolina. And we do that by working with public school systems and creating robotics competition programs and teaching kids how to build, program, design robots. And then we figured out a long time ago that one of the ways to hook students into STEM education is to turn it into a sporting event. And so we've taken robots and made them a sporting event.
Yes. And we're real excited about our partnership with you. The first time you and I had a conversation about this, we talked about the STEM academies in our middle schools and how nicely this fit in to what we're doing there. But then you enlightened me to the fact that you work also with elementary students in grades 4 and 5, as well as high school students. So we have pitched this to our principals now at all levels, and there's a lot of excitement. And I think we're going to be able to host several teams throughout the school year. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about, at each level, the competitions that take place. I know it's a different robot, different machinery at each of the different levels. So talk to us a little bit about what the elementary students experience, the middle and the high school students.
I'd be glad to. Our program is designed for students in grades 4 through 12. Our 4th through 8th grade program is using Lego robots. And so they use traditional Lego pieces like you have in containers all over your house. The students work with Legos all the time. In fact, I told somebody I think we have a Lego gene in our DNA because I've never had to tell anybody, here's how you work with Legos. They know that. But they will build and design a robot out of Legos, and they'll compete at that level. And then once they kind of get their hands full of the Lego robot, we have an Ftc robot, which looks kind of like an erector set. It's a metal robot with different treads, and that requires a little more electrical engineering, a little more mechanical engineering for those robots. The middle school and high school students work with the Ftc robot. They love it because there's more than one robot in the arena, and you can actually, part of your strategy can be to crash your robot into another robot. So you give middle and high school students the opportunity to crash robots into each other, then you've got them hooked. I mean, they're very interested in that. Then we also have a humanoid robot that students can learn to program to speaks 21 different languages. I can program it to recognize your face, and it'll call you by name every time it sees you after that. So really advanced robotics technology. And then our newest robot is our drone. We teach students to fly drones, to follow the FAA regulations, to not violate the laws and regulations that are involved with drone aircraft. And then in the end, they learn to take aerial photography, aerial videos, and it's a really, really cool robotics program that we've got started for the high school students.
So the structure of this at all three levels, elementary, middle, and high, is that a team is assembled of students. We need to have a faculty sponsor of that team. The team is comprised of 10 students, is that correct?
Well, the Lego team, the younger students are 8. They have 8 on the team.
Okay.
The older students, middle school and high school, there's 10 on the team.
Okay. And those students begin in the fall of the year working on their robot and on their project. Now, part of our partnership with your agency is that you send us the teacher, and that teacher comes in on our schedule either during the school day or after the school day to work with that team of students, and of course the faculty sponsor is there to oversee things and whatnot, but you actually provide the instruction. I think is it 21 hours of instruction?
That's correct.
Team?
We try to set our program up to be a turnkey program. We provide the instructors, we provide the robotics equipment, we provide the computer equipment, we provide the software. we don't want to add an additional burden onto the schools or the school systems as far as having to learn how to do all these different systems, use all this different equipment. And so we will send an instructor in. We call them coaches. We'll send a robotics coach in to work with your teams, and we try to get them prepared for this big robotics competition that we're going to have at the end of the school year.
And that competition at the end of the school year is big, and it does take on the atmosphere of an athletic contest or an event of that nature. And I know you've been to many of those, sponsored many of those throughout North Carolina. Describe what that day is like.
Oh, it's very exciting. We traditionally to hold these competitions in a gym, a high school or middle school gym. It's standing room only every time we do one of these. Parents, grandparents, siblings come and watch. There's lots of excitement. It's an intellectual event, but it's not like a chess match. It's not a silent area. It's very loud. It's lots of cheering, lots of music, lots of things going on, and also it's very competitive. And the students, we found, we do statewide competitions, but students from the Statesville Iredell school system had rather compete and succeed against their crosstown rival than they had some school from Raleigh or Wilmington or places like that. So there's just lots of excitement and lots of competitiveness, and we found that that's what it takes to keep the students engaged and learning. And at the end of the day, when you ask them, well, how much math did you learn? How much technology did you learn? Lots of students will say, well, we didn't learn any. We just did robots. And so that's our objective, is if at the end of the day they tell you that they didn't learn anything new, but they had lots of fun, they're really learning lots, and they don't even realize it.
Yes. So our vision for the program here in Iredell-Statesville Schools is to launch this immediately here in the fall of the year. The students and their coaches, along with their faculty sponsor, will work throughout the winter months, and that competition then, our district competition, will be held in late March or early April. Now, the students that do well at that competition can go on to a regional competition.
That is correct. We the top 8 to 10 teams in every school system that we work with advances to the Western North Carolina Robotics Championship, and you will compete against the best teams from all the other school systems in Western North Carolina, and that also is another high impact, high energy event, but it's a little more competitive because the teams that are there have all won at their local school system level.
Right. Yeah, like going to the playoffs.
Yes, going to the playoffs. It's our robotic Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're very excited about this initiative. Let's talk a little bit about sponsorship. It costs $1,460 to sponsor a team.
Right, for a whole school year.
The whole school year. That includes not only the equipment, the technical support, the instruction from the coach, 21 hours of instruction. Now, you have formed a partnership with the Corning Corporation, and they have scholarships.
We do. We have, in fact, there are several industries in this area and businesses that have partnered with us, and they provide sponsorships and grants for additional teams. Some of the grants and sponsorships are for like dropout prevention programs. Some of them are to provide the equipment. Some of them are to provide support for the software and the teachers. And so there are different things they can be used for. But yeah, right now we have a $500 sponsorship for every school that wants to have additional teams. While the teams are limited to 8 or 10 students, a school can have as many teams as they want or as they need. And my job is to work with schools and principals to get the funding in place. I don't ever want a principal or administrator to come to me and say, well, we really can't afford to do this. The money's out there. If you do a Google search for STEM grants, you'll be reading for 3 days. I mean, it's out there. You just have to go and apply for it and have a program in place that these businesses will support. Right. And one of the things that we have found is that without the support from businesses, from the community, this program is not sustainable. And so we like to refer to it as homegrown engineers. We want the students in Iredell-Statesville school system to come learn STEM, learn robotics, go to a great technical college, get an engineering degree, and then come right back here to work. They don't have to go to Silicon Valley or Research Triangle. They can, plenty of engineering jobs right here in the Iredell-Statesville area.
Absolutely. Now, this initiative is so important to us as a school system that the district is offering to sponsor one team per school. And so that's just our way of launching the program and getting it off the ground. So there's one team per school, and then these grants that you were talking about, $500 scholarships, will sponsor multiple teams in addition to that. And I do think that this community will embrace this. I think we'll have a lot of businesses that will want to put their name on a t-shirt and say, I sponsor this particular team at this particular school. I think we'll get a lot of support for that.
And in addition to the financial support, we also look for mentors. We want these businesses to send some of their engineers or some of their employees or their technical workers to the schools and to mentor these teams. They don't have to know anything about robotics. They don't have to know anything about programming. Everybody that works in today's business world knows problem solving.
Yes.
And that's really the basis of this, is taking a robot. The robot's the tool, but critical thinking and problem solving is the foundation of what we do. And so we have insurance agencies that send people to help mentor teams and help them with the organization and the problem solving. So you don't have to be a robotics manufacturing company to be able to help and get involved with this program.
Now, you brought a couple samples with you today. Let's show those so that our students can kind of see what we're talking about here. And our first robot is the one that you use with the elementary schools. This is the Lego robot. And just tell us a little bit about that, and we'll give our students an opportunity to take a look at that.
Yeah, this is an Nxt Robot. As you can see, it's made 100% out of Legos. And the motors, it has 3 different motors, and this is the control unit. And the students, this robot was actually built by a group of 4th graders. And they design it, they build it as a team, not individually, but as a team they build it. And then they will program this robot to solve problems. And the motors will move the robot, propel the robot. There's a lot of math in the calculations of how far you want it to move, how many degrees you want it to turn, things like that. But then all the teams in your school system will have a set of missions that they have to solve. Every team will have the same missions, every team will have the same challenges, but each team will have a different robot. They'll design it differently, they'll build it differently, but they're using it to solve the exact same problems.
Now, the drone is the one that I'm excited about, and if I was a student, I'd like to be in the drone program. Let's take a look at the drone. Yeah, this is a wonderful gadget, and it's got a camera under there. Tell us a little bit about what this project looks like and the competition that's held with these.
Yeah, this is our drone program is for the high school students, and basically we go out and work with them and teach them how to fly the drone. We also, the first 2 or 3 days of our instruction are classroom instruction. No one goes out and flies until they learn all the safety mechanisms, the safety checklist, what the FAA regulations are, what the rules are. It's kind of a civics lesson to start with. You know, the drone industry is brand spanking new. I mean, it hasn't even been formulated yet. They're still trying to figure out, what are we going to use these things for? How are they going to be used commercially? How are they going to impact our society? And I predict that within 10 years, every person or family will have a drone just like you have a cell phone now. And there's going to be, so the students that are in school now are going to be the ones that are developing this industry and that are leading this technology, 10 years from now. They're going to be the students that are in high school today will be the ones that will be implementing and determining what this industry is going to become. And so that's what's exciting about it to me, is that it's not just a toy. It's a tool that's going to be used for.
I had never thought about that, but you're right. This will be a tool that a family will use in the future. And good point about our students. are on the cutting edge of this, and they will be the workers of tomorrow that will decide what this industry looks like. There will be a lot of jobs created because of this tool.
Tens of thousands of jobs created, and I would actually like to see North Carolina kind of take the lead and embrace drone technology. It's not something to be afraid of. Drones get a lot of bad press, but used properly, used safely, it's a tremendous tool. Just the video capabilities alone make it that way. But I see this industry as instead of Amazon and Google delivering stuff to you, I think it's going to be the reverse. I think you're going to own a drone and you're going to send the drone out to pick things up, to do things like that. So right now, I kind of think everybody's got the image of this industry backwards or upside down. I think it's going to, you'll send your drone to the post office to pick up your mail. Just think of the cost savings to the postal service for that type of service. You'll send your drone to the drugstore to pick up your prescriptions. Just lots of different things like that. I think that's what you're going to see.
Yeah. Well, Bill, we are very excited about this new partnership with Cyber Kids Robotics, and thank you so much for coming by today and talking to us. Students, I hope you find this very exciting, and I hope you realize that our commitment to STEM education is very important to us at all levels, elementary, middle, and high. So students, if this is of interest to you, talk to your teacher, talk to your principal, and consider joining one of our robotics teams. And we hope to see you at the competition this spring here in the Iredell-Statesville schools. Thanks for watching.